Today is a very big day in programming tutorials because today I will be teaching you how to make functions, these things. Now, there are multiple ways that we can define functions. First off, we're going to define it by deleting all this white space. Second off, we're going to either type the keyword function or fin. Now, I'm just going to type fin because it's shorter, but either of them can be used interchangeably. It doesn't matter. Fin is just shorter and faster. So now we need to type the name of the function. So let's call this our new function. We'll use brackets to create a new scope. So it's currently giving us an error because we have nothing in our function. But let's create something beautiful. Let's create something that prints a value, but it puts something before it. So first we want to take in a value. And this can be done using the arrow brackets. Now, you have to omit them if you're not taking in any values because it'll make it a comment. But if not, you can type in the name of the variables you want to take in. And whenever the function is called, it'll basically assign whatever we pass in here to x. So when we do something like our new function 5 gets passed in as x. And so in this case, we're going to be able to access x only in the function, and this will be just replaced with 5. So in our function, let's do print line cool function says, and then we'll just use string of x. So let's try this. Cool function says 5.0. Look at that. Functions are easy. Now, let's say we want to make this shorter. It's only one line, so we can actually use the arrow here. And it does the same thing. As a matter of fact, it actually returns whatever's after it, just like a one-line for loop or a while loop or a query. Now, if we were to do something like function add 2, and we can take an x, and we can do arrow x plus 2. What this does is this just takes an x and then instantly returns x plus 2. So let's try this. Let's print add 2 to 162. 164. It works. Now, that's the basics of functions. And we can type them out longer, but what if we want to take in multiple arguments? We would do fin. Let's call this cool algorithm. We'll take an xy. And we're going to learn a brand new keyword here called the return keyword. The return keyword essentially returns the value from the function. It does exactly what the arrow does, except wherever you put it. So if we just return x plus y, that's the same thing as doing fin cool algorithm xy x plus y. The advantage is we can do multiple things before it. We can put it wherever we want. So do x, that, then we can also have y, that, x, string x, y, and then we can return it. And you can also just return nothing, and it'll instantly stop the function and whatever it's doing. So you can do that if you want to do something like if x is equal to 2, and you just really hate the number 2 for some reason, just instantly return. Now I'm going to teach you something that I forgot to teach you in the if statements, which is the or and operators. Now, in most languages, that's the or operator, and that's the and operator. Or in Python, it's just or and. But in JPizza, it's simplified. so you can type the program you want to type as fast as possible. So let's say if x is equal to 2 or y is equal to 2. This is basically going to return true if either of these are true. If it is this or it is this. If we were to change this to and, it would only execute if both of them are true. They do exactly what their names do say. If this or this, or if this and this. It's that simple. So we have a really cool function right here. If either of these are 2, it just does nothing. Otherwise, it's going to return x plus y. Let's try this out. Let's use a double for loop. It's going to be beautiful. And so what we're going to do is just for I 0 to 5. Then we're going to do for j 0 to 5. I'll put those on the same line. Then in here we can just do full algorithm I j. And this is just going to do for I 0 to 5. And so it's going to start at 0. And then it's going to go through a loop for j 0 to 5. And it's going to run our function like that. And it's going to return a list. Missing semicolon found the null. Missing a semicolon somewhere. Either that or this just won't work. Which is a complete option. Oh, I just put a semicolon there. You're not supposed to because it's our instance inside a function. So it printed out a bunch. Let's see, 0, 1, null, because it's 2, 1, 2, null, and since I is 2 in this case, null, null. You can see the pattern, you can see that our function works, and hopefully this has helped you understand how to make a function and the basics of functions. We've learned the return statement, we've got the function keyword down, hopefully. We've got arrows, we've got parameters, and you can omit them if you don't want to take in anything, but that's not recommended if you are using variables, because then it'll just break. You have as many of these as you want. We can have arg0. Oh, that's not going to work. Arg, we have an underscore, all that. And yeah, now it's going to break everything out here because it needs another parameter. That's how functions work. And so now you probably understand better how the built-in ones work, like print line. It takes an x, and then it prints x, except in the source code. So, next tutorial, we'll be learning some even cooler stuff. We're going to break down the main program. So, I'll see you there.